Hi, I'm Danny from the Manc, and we're here with the one and only Steve-O. How you doing today, mate?
I'm great, man. But are we on the radio?
Well, go nice and professional considering you're just chilling with your dog. So you're basically about to set off on the UK leg of your tour, the bucket list tour. What can you tell us about it?
It's unbelievably epic, dude. It's a multimedia show which features videos that could never have been filmed for Jackass. And the things on my bucket list were just so outrageously inappropriate and just ridiculous that they were never supposed to happen. None of it was ever supposed to happen. And I found myself confronting middle age and having gotten into live comedy and wanting it to be multimedia. And I filmed these crazy things, man. I was actually sobbing. I was in tears, like tears of joy for how fantastic that is, how delicious it is to have like genuinely raised the bar from where Jackass left it. So like that's kind of the spirit of it, like just pushing things way farther than they've ever been pushed before. Like I go fully triple X rated. There's one where I genuinely on video while I am naked with another man strapped to my back and to completion everywhere simultaneously as I fall out of an airplane 15,000 feet in the air. That one's called skyjacking. And I genuinely believe that I am the only guy in the world who could make that video of skyjacking, screen it for large audiences, and truly feel good about it.
This is all commitment. Like I say, it's your bucket list. This is what you've been dreaming of doing for some
Yeah,
reason.
for sure. So yeah, there's like it's pretty gnarly stuff. There's the vasectomy Olympics, just this really really high level stuff, and there's this phenomenon that just like as soon as I embarked on this tour, it became a really weird reality that at more shows than not, audience members were passing out cold in their seats. Even worse, sometimes the audience member would feel like kind of weird, queasy, like they need fresh air, and they would get up and walk out of the theater and pass out while standing. And so some of them would like hit their head because they're falling while standing up. Really scary stuff. So now the show comes with like a legal disclaimer that you entered this theater at your own risk, because I am not responsible for passing out at my show.
After all these years, you've not slowed down at all. It's kind of just now done in a live show format. It's basically just Jackass, but the Steve-O version solo.
Well, I mean, I started doing live comedy in comedy clubs and stuff. I first tried it in 2006. I committed to it in 2010. And I've now been performing stand-up comedy for 13 years. I've found my voice. I've developed the craft, like the storytelling, and I've married all of my worlds together into one like multimedia presentation. And so the stories in the act are patently absurd. And then after each story, I literally provide the receipts. I play the footage of what you're talking about. And it's so much fun because the stories just coming out of my mouth sound like such implausible fiction. And it's all completely true and proven to be true. So yeah, it's fun, man. It's like a private screening of What's Too Hot for Jackass, hosted by me with like a juicy presentation of of it all in person, and I love it, man. I love it, and it really it's a format that I've stumbled on, which has proven to be like genuinely viable. It's been like a world phenomena, and now I'm bringing it to the UK to wrap it all up, and I'm taping the special in London on July 13th and 14th. The 14th's a wrap. There's no more tickets available for that. And the 13th, that show goes on sale this Friday of this week. And man, I'm so excited about it because like it's my third comedy special, and the growth from the first one to the second one and then to this one is it's staggering how just how different it is, and I just can't wait for everyone to see it.
Like you say, like the show isn't just about, you know, doing daft stuff on stage. Like it's a combination of, you know, talking about like 15 years of sobriety. Congrats on that. The podcast, the YouTube channel. It's the, you know, the second book as well, A Hard Kick in the Nuts, and then your comedy stuff as well. So it really is like all of these things rolled into one. And you get into some serious topics as well, like the sobriety, I believe. I
mean, I definitely mention the sobriety because that was a big thing. The original idea with the anesthesia bike ride was to be shot with a tranquilizer dart gun. Like me and one of my buddies get shot in the butt cheeks with tranquilizer darts and proceed to sprint for distance to see who can make it the farthest before they fall in their face. But like, who knew tranquilizer darts like would be filled with animal tranquilizer? I was so close to just saying and going for it, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because that would have been a relapse. Thankfully, I prioritized my recovery, which, you know, which I do mention in the show. And my solution for the problem was that all these years of me being sober, I've had multiple surgeries and all kinds of other procedures where I was knocked out with general anesthesia in a professional setting. And I got through all of that without ever relapsing. So I felt like pretty comfortable with general anesthesia for that reason. And that's why we did the anesthesia bike ride instead of the tranquilizer darts.
That's brilliant. It sounds amazing though. And like you say, I mean, the tour's basically about to hit the UK now. Manchester was one of the first places to sell out as well, so it's got to be nice to feel that.
Yeah. If anybody's in Manchester is dying to see the show, the Manchester show, if you go to London, you're at the taping of the official Bucket List special. My fiance is the production designer, and she's building a wall of old school television sets, you know, to celebrate how it's a multimedia show. And I've been documenting my life for over 30 years now. Like, it's just a rad aesthetic, the whole wall of TVs behind me, and millions of people are going to watch it. So it's kind of a rad show to be at. And if anybody wants to get their down to London on July 13th, Thursday, that's the show that goes on sale this Friday.
What about, you know, the UK in general? Have you got any standout memories? Obviously, Jackass have filmed here before, famously. Have you got any standout memories of being in the UK, or maybe Manchester specifically?
Well, I was born in the UK. I was born in London. I lived in London from the ages of 9 all the way through 18, with the exception of a year and a half in Canada. So this is very much a homecoming for me. I do remember Manchester as the most outrageously like disruptive to the point of like violent at my 2003 show on my Don't Try This at Home tour. So I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit intimidated about the Manchester stop for the Bucket List tour. But with that said, the UK is really where I've got I got my EU passport renewed just before Brexit. So I'm holding the EU passport still.
Crazy, no, I never knew that. So yeah, you've obviously got a real connection here. What about maybe like football and music and the culture and stuff like that? Are there any sort of standout British icons for you?
My first concert was Twisted Sister at Hammersmith Odeon in London, and I was dying to film the bucket list special at Hammersmith Odeon for that reason, but due to the content and how it's triple X rated, makes it impossible for this show. It's banned from this show's banned a lot of places, man, like straight up. And so it's a bummer because had I been able to record the special at Hammersmith Odeon, my next move was to get Twisted Sister to open the show.
We'd be a fool not to ask, what do you think like the craziest stunt that you've ever done is? I think the one that comes to mind for me in my years of watching Jackass, well, maybe it's because it's been on YouTube channel as well and it's refreshed memory, the invisible musical chair where your arm was all burnt up with the jet fuel.
Oh, yeah. The Fire Angels. That was definitely the worst experience for sure. When you get skin grafts on 15% of your body, you know you up.
Like a top three. So I'm assuming that's going to be in there somewhere in the three. What would the other two be?
Pretty invasive when I shattered my ankle and got it all screwed together with like 2 plates and 11 screws. That's no fun. As far as just like really, really upsetting injuries like that's the worst. Burns are generally the worst, and they hurt for a long time. You know, like the duration of pain is definitely like the most upsetting criteria. If it's something that's going to last a long time, like that's a problem.
I know it's late and you've been taking the time to chat to us, so I just wanted to say thank you for that and wish you good luck on the tour. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be as nuts as you made it described.
It's 100% as nuts